Jaguar Adventure in the Pantanal of Brazil, the world's greatest wetland. In the first week, I had a great introduction to the swamp creatures that live here, anacondas, capybara and caiman. But my mission is to see a jaguar, the only big cat I haven't met before. That's why we've come here to this river, the best place in the world to see them.
Finding these highly elusive big cats isn't going to be easy. Some camera crews have spent years trying to track down and film these awe-inspiring predators. But they've come home utterly miserable, having never seen so much as a whisker of one. This is definitely one of my toughest missions. I'm beginning to wonder if I've bitten off more than I can chew. But I'm keeping a positive attitude though, because there have been several recent sightings of jaguar in this region. That's why for the next 10 days I'm going to make camp along the river and pray to the gods that my lifelong dream of coming eyeball to eyeball with a jaguar comes true. The Jaguar River is 300 miles of murky brown water that runs through the northern region of the Pantanal, an area called the Mato Grosso. I'm in the middle of nowhere, right in the heart of a massive seasonally flooded swamp. The nights here seethe with monster swampy creatures, and I just have to show you this muddy pool chock-a-block with crocs of the caiman kind. My torch is brilliant at highlighting the eyeshine of these prehistoric creatures.
The Pantanal really does live up to its reputation as being the caiman capital of the world. I mean, this is an incredible sight with all these orange eyes floating in the black water. There's all sizes of caiman here. In the dry season, when there's few pools left, they gather in big numbers. The fish are concentrated in the few remaining pools. It's a good hunting time for them. In the wet season, all of the animals will disperse. The fish will spread out over a large area. It will be much more difficult for caiman to go fishing then. There's a real feeding frenzy here. Looks like there's trapped some fish in the shallows. So I just saw a flash of orange there. Piranha have got orange fins and they're a favourite for caiman. Even though piranhas have a notorious reputation, they're on the menu for every predator in the Pantanal. They fish nearly 24 hours a day. Down in one, the caiman are swallowing the fish whole. Like all crocodiles and alligators, their teeth are like pegs. They're for grasping rather than cutting or slicing flesh. But if they catch a big prey item, and caiman, big ones that are nearly 3 meters long, have been known to take capybara and peccaries even, what they do is get a good grip on the body, spin their own bodies and tear off chunks of flesh. Oh, all this feeding, it's making me hungry. I'm going to go back for some grub.
Our only chance of finding jaguars is to put in hour upon hour of observation. Endlessly patrolling the riverbank from dawn till dusk and beyond, deep into the night. The Pantanal has a staggering array of animals. It's one of the most diverse regions on the planet. There's more than 700 species of birds, over 100 species of mammals, and more than 50 kinds of reptiles. The incredibly rich collection of critters is mainly due to the fact that there's such a mind-blowing abundance of fish. This food resource supports the wealth of exotic wildlife here. In the dry season, as it is now, many of the creatures are concentrated around the remaining water holes. It may take some time to find the elusive jaguar, but at least I'm getting the opportunity to see a whole menagerie of wonderful animals on my hunt for the big cat. I'm loving the experience of exploring this beautiful haven of nature. I'm bowled over by the bounty of wildlife that lives here. Capybara, very common in these parts, have got to be the most lovable and characterful creatures of the Pantanal. These giants are the largest rodents in the world. They're social animals that spend the hot part of the day wallowing in the mud, eating grasses and water plants. They're highly proficient swimmers. Their webbed feet can propel them underwater for 5 minutes or more. Capybaras are on the menu for the water-loving jaguar. Jaguars kill by puncturing the skulls of their prey. I've seen lots of capybara carcasses and skeletons along this river. Tantalising clues that tell me jaguars are definitely in the area.
Capybara are the largest rodents in the world. They can weigh 65 kilograms, which is 2/3 of my own weight. And I wonder if I can get close to them. A little worried about where I put my hands in this mud. Seen a few caiman swimming around, and if you put your hand on one of those, it's like a hand grenade going off. But only the big caimans are a threat to the capybara. The rodents, they retreat to water when they feel they're in danger. They're perfectly adapted to these swampy conditions. You can see they've got eyes, ears, nostrils on the tops of their heads. That's perfect for an amphibious existence. When they swim, their ears close tight against the sides of their heads. That stops water going into their ear holes. The Latin name of capybara means swamp hog. They're so large, when people first saw them, they thought they were a kind of pig. Live in herds like this, up to 20 individuals, and they're always followed by birds. That one over there's got a giant cowbird on its back. The birds are keeping with the capybara because their feet kick up insects which the birds dive down and grab, and also the giant cowbird is probably going to pick parasites from the capybara's fur. And like men with receding hair, capybara have got really sparse hair. They're easily sunburnt, which is why they spend the heat of the day in the water like this. And like all rodents, they haven't got sweat glands, so they keep cool by staying in the water. Oh, just as I was saying that one saw me, gave a bark, and away they go. That was good, I got pretty close. And when I was a kid, I really wanted to have a capybara as a pet. But my hamsters used to keep me awake at night, running round in their will. So just imagine the noise a full-grown capybara would make.
The Pantanal is the largest wetland on Earth, covering a massive area. This swamp is about the size of Britain. Rain's not fallen here for 5 months or more. The river's starting to run low. The drought is really good news for me because the river has now become a magnet, drawing animals from all around in search of life-sustaining water. If I'm ever going to see a jaguar, this is the time of year to do it, at the end of the dry season. And this stretch of the Capybara River is definitely my best chance, even if the odds are slim. My camp, the epicentre of our jaguar tracking operation, is just a couple of 100 metres from the water's edge. It's a perfect pitch in the shade of this lovely forest, bursting with a hive of activity. The camera crew and I are living au natural, but in real style, thanks to our brilliant Brazilian backup team who are doing such a good job at making us comfortable.
This is our base when we're searching for the jaguar. It really is a luxurious tent. This is where I wash here. Perfect, don't have to use much water. Eco toilet. Still got to cope with the challenge of this. There's a funnel there, a bucket there. You pour ash on any doings, then it can be thrown into the forest and recycled perfectly. Lovely bed here. Blanket, you need a blanket sometimes at night. Gets a bit cool. Lots of birds here, so checking out on all the birds I'm trying to identify. And Ruth Rendell book. Always take a detective novel with me. Read at night. And here it is. And this is the HQ for the jaguar search. There's a team here. A lot of these are ex-hunters, and they are experts at tracking jaguar footprints, looking for signs of jaguars. In the trees over there, there's a big tower, and up there, there's a transmitter. You can see it here, actually. A big high tower, and up there, that's the epicentre for the communications, sort of like a repeater station there, so the boats can communicate when they're going up and down the river. And what a great scene this is. Classic South American scene. The team in their hammocks, and we'll be out later this afternoon.
Marcos is coordinating our jaguar search team. To maximise our chances of a big cat encounter, he's put together a crack team of jaguar trackers. 4 boats in all, in constant radio contact, will patrol the banks of this river. Should one of them hit the jaguar jackpot, it will be a race against the clock to get our cameras to the action before the cat disappears back into the forest. I can't think of anything better than taking in the awe-inspiring atmosphere of this mecca for wildlife. It seems that round every bend there's new delights to discover. Ha! Look at this beautiful family of giant otters who look like they've come to check me out. I came across these super charismatic animals during my first week in the Pantanal. I thought then I'd like to take a swim with these giants, the biggest otters in the world, to get a really close-up view. But it would be foolhardy to swim with a family. Adults will defend their young. But here's my chance for a swim, an otter on its own. He should be curious rather than aggressive.
He's so intent on feeding. What I'm going to do is try to get a bit closer, swim towards him.
I've got to be careful. This giant otter is as long as I'm tall. I don't want to be attacked. His teeth would certainly give a jaguar a good run for its money.
This is hopeless. I can't swim against the current. Marcos, can you give us a lift with the boat? Sure. Drag us along, thanks. Thank you. Hold on.
The best laid plans and all
just
that.
get us
I didn't factor in the
otter
strength
and I'll
of the
float
current.
back down. I'm going to go beyond the otter and then float down, see if I can get close to him. Okay, this is good.
Well, this is definitely what you'd call a brief encounter. The current must be running against me at 5 knots or more.
Hello there. He's curious about me.
I just can't get any closer. But how cool is that? Swimming with a giant otter in the wild. Hey!
Very curious about me. It came to check me out, definitely.
This place is paradise for a bird lover like me. There's some real avian eccentrics here. Take a gander at this prehistoric looking character. It's the Jabiru stork, of course, a highly social bird that, like the giant otter, has a gargantuan appetite for fish. The Jabiru's massive bill is perfectly designed for trapping large fish. This bird looks like a jumbo jet on takeoff. It needs a tremendous amount of strength and energy. Jabiroos weigh up to 8 kilos and have a massive wingspan of over 2.5 meters to help carry the load. What a majestic bird. No wonder it's an icon of the Pantanal. Sunset is the time to keep all eyes peeled for any sign of the jaguar. Our 4 boats of expert trackers are spaced out, cruising the length and breadth of the river, scanning the banks for any movements that might betray the camouflage of this awesome predator. Research has shown that jaguars are most active at dawn and dusk, so for the next 10 days we'll be particularly vigilant at the beginnings and ends of the day. In the tropics, the sun sinks like a stone, and in a matter of minutes, the river transforms into a different world. The jungle sounds intensify, and a whole new cast of creatures come out to hunt.
This is extraordinary. A firework display of mayflies. They're insects that have hatched, swallowing them, insects that have hatched from the river. The larvae are aquatic. And this is incredible. Look at them moving like that. And there's another aerobatic display. That's why I've got the light on. Above the river, a flock of greater bulldog bats. They're only one of 6 kinds of bat. Look at that. The way they zoomed past there. One of only 6 kinds of bat in the world that specialise in catching fish. They're using their sonar, their echolocating, to detect any movements, any ripples at the surface or just below the surface. And one did it then. You saw it zoom down to the water with its back legs, got bigger back legs than any insect-eating bat. On those back legs there's big claws, and they use those to gaff fish, and they can catch fish that are that long, 10 centimetres long. And the incredible thing is, if they catch a smaller fish, they can actually store the food in pouches in their cheeks so they can continue fishing. As well as eating fish, they also eat big insects as well. So any insects falling to the surface of the water,
they'll catch them too. But what a display this is. One just shot down to the surface of the water then. And these are incredible aerobats. And then I've got a firework display in front of my light, a firework display of mayfly larvae. This swarm of bats certainly proves a welcome diversion from my main assignment of finding a jaguar. Give ourselves every possible chance of seeing a jaguar, we've come out on the river at night. The tracker and I are using these lights to shine on the banks. We're hoping to see the eye shine of the cat. Like all cats, jaguars have got a mirror layer right at the back of their eye. That's to help them gather every scrap of light if there's a little bit of moon or in low light levels. And if we find a jaguar, we've got another trick as well. Watch this, I'm turning this off, and the cameraman, Robin, has a very special camera that works in infrared light. Infrared won't disturb the jaguar, so fingers crossed we're going to see one hunting at night. I'm starting to imagine a jaguar appearing before me like some ghostly spirit of the night. The darkness is disarming and somewhat disorientating. I can't help picturing my infrared light illuminating the eyes of the jaguar's terrifying steely gaze. How will I react if I come eyeball to eyeball with a jaguar out on the prowl? Maybe I'm being watched from just behind the light. I'll never know. But the thought puts the hairs up on the back of my neck. We've given this our best shot. I have my fingers crossed that we'd see the gleaming eyes of a jaguar in the darkness. It just wasn't to be. There's not many hours of night left now, and we've got to continue our search tomorrow. So it's time for a bit of shut-eye. I'm not complaining though, that mayfly hatch, the fishing bats, they were really special. Got a shout from Marcos. They've got something to show me, I don't know what it is. Hi guys!
Hi.
What do you got?
Well, we know you love reptiles, Nigel.
So he got, is it a venomous snake?
No.
No, who caught it?
Francisco.
Well done. So look, thank you. Oh yeah, tegu. Got to be quick with these because they got a bit of a powerful bite. Where did Francisco find this?
Você achou, Francisco?
Ele entrou na cozinha, estava procurando comida para comer e eu peguei.
So said he entered in the kitchen and probably looking for food or looking for eggs, and he caught it just to take it away back to the forest.
Wow, so this is a kitchen visitor, fantastic lizard called a tegu. Looks a bit like a monitor lizard, but it's not. You only find them in Africa and Asia. This is the South American equivalent. Grow to be about 3 feet long. They catch insects, scavenge on carrion. Very, very powerful jaws. These lizards can crush snails with a single bite. See the tongue coming out all the time, sensing the air. Snakes don't have ears, but lizards do. That's what this is on the side of its head. So he's hearing what I'm saying. And see this here? Tell it's a male, it's just everted the hemipenis. Lizards have got 2 hemipenises, just like snakes. It means they can mate from both sides. You can also see in the past, this lizard has been attacked by a predator. They drop their tails when they're attacked, regrow the tail, but you can see it's not quite as perfectly scaled as the old part of the tail, and it broke off
just about there. You can see the tail there, and I'm going to help this as we've disturbed him. I'm going to help him. See, there's a tick. I'm going to pull that. I hate those little bloodsuckers. Look at that. But you won't lose so much of your blood now, will you? Let's let you go. Hope he doesn't go back to the kitchen again to take more eggs. You've had enough of being handled, haven't you? Let's let you go. Go on then. Away he goes.
I've had a tip-off from one of the boat drivers that there's a place along the riverbank where he's seen jaguar tracks. It would be really exciting to get some solid proof that jaguars are in the area. This is a creepy feeling, being alone away from the boat, knowing that a cat who kills in one pounce could be really close.
At last. I was beginning to think it was a myth that jaguars lived here, but here's some clues, some wonderful tracks along this beach. You see these footprints here, see the 4 toes here, and this pad in the centre. That's how you can tell this is a front foot because of the circular pad. If this was a back foot, the pad would be more triangular. And the depth of it, that's what's extraordinary. And jaguars here in the Pantanal, they grow larger than anywhere else in South America. They can be nearly 100 kilograms. That's as much as I weigh. No impressions from the claws, because like all cats, jaguars retract their claws when they're walking along. It's only cheetahs that have claws that are unsheathed all of the time. And these may have been made a couple of months ago before the rains. But the thrilling thing about this is, at last, incontrovertible proof there are jaguars here, and hopefully they're still around. Certainly isn't easy. We've cruised mile after mile along the Capybara River. It's hot, it's sweaty. The only way to find jaguars is to put in hours of observation. The thing that keeps you going is around any corner there could be one of the cats. The frustrating thing is they are so perfect at melting into the vegetation. I'm sure on our journey we've been watched by jaguars that we haven't seen.
I'm desperate to meet the mighty jaguar, an animal that's stalked my imagination since I was a child. Jaguars are shrouded in myth. Here in South America, the ancient Mayan cultures believed the jaguar to be the god of the underworld. All I know is that if I meet one, I mustn't run. In all big cats, running away triggers the hunting response. We've been here for 4 days now, and still no sign of a jaguar. But 9/10 of successful wildlife filmmaking is patience. And the crew working with me have the patience of saints. If it wasn't for the mosquitoes, they'd stick it out in this camp forever, given the chance. That's how driven we all are to see a jaguar. In the Pantanal, the jungle never sleeps, and nor do I. nature's late-night orchestra makes such a racket that sleep is proving difficult. And things aren't exactly helped by Tony, my brilliant Brazilian sound man's nocturnal habit of playing the harmonica. Seeing as I'm up, I might as well see if I can get my hands on a swamp creature you can only find at night. And hey, I've always loved a good shin up a tree. You never know what you're going to find.
Got you! This is an olive whip snake. Trouble with snakes is, unless you get them in the hand, it's hard to identify them. I knew this was a non-venomous kind. And he was just sleeping up there. They sleep sometimes 4 meters above the ground. Oh, there. See, that got my finger there. Sleep about 4 meters above the ground. They hunt during the day. This whip snake would catch small birds and lizards. And you can tell it's not a nocturnal kind by these eyes. You see there is no vertical pupil there, which a nocturnal snake would have, cat's eyes. And snakes don't have eyelids, of course. It's very difficult to tell whether they're asleep. Lizards have eyelids, but snakes don't. They just sleep with their eyes open, as it were. And it's terrific, just walking through the campsite to see there's wildlife. Oh, stop that! Hey, see there's wildlife in the trees above us. And this is a beautiful snake, a little bit bad-tempered, but that's because I woke you from your booty sleep, didn't I? I just really adore snakes. This tongue constantly flicking out all the time, smelling the air. What I'm going to do, you can see what a superb climber these snakes are. I'm going to let it go, and you can see it skedaddle back up to its sleeping place, high up in the branches. Go on then. And he'll go back up into the leaves and fall straight back to sleep again. I'm starting to realise that finding a jaguar isn't easy. We've got a perfect team here, trackers, ex-hunters. We've got 4 boats going up and down the river, virtually 24 hours a day. So far, the only sign of the big cat, those tracks, and they could have been old on the sandy beach. We're not going to give up, we've just got to be patient. Hopefully, we'll find one.
Still no jaguar, but it's not all bad news. Steve, one of our expedition cameramen, has been rewarded with filming some amazing animal behaviour, which I'm fairly certain has never been filmed before. Returning back to base camp, he came across a group of giant otters in the company of a flock of cormorants. What's astonishing about this encounter, which I frustratingly missed, is that looking back at the footage, it appears as if otters and cormorants have developed a cooperative strategy for herding and hunting fish. According to Steve, the cormorants dived in as soon as the otters started fishing, probably to snap up any fish fleeing from the jaws of the giant otters. This unique behaviour has only been recorded in this region of the Pantanal. It reminds me of seagulls following a plough. Day 5 on our mission to film jaguar, and at last there's a breakthrough. I've received radio contact from one of our team of Brazilian trackers that they've found a big cat.
Eu vou fazer a pergunta de novo para vocês, tá bom?
We've hit the jaguar jackpot, and my boat is only a mile or so away. It's full speed ahead to get to this magnificent animal before it vanishes from the riverbank back into the forest.
There it is. Just laying on the bank. She's just nonchalantly looking at us. Straw yellow eyes. And there, my first ever jaguar. And what a magnificent animal. Beautiful coat. Tiny spots with rosettes of black. Fantastic, the first one. Just as we thought, they love water, stay on the riverbank. This is a really rare sighting. 10 years ago, you wouldn't have had a snowball's chance in hell of seeing a jaguar, but they've been given some protection from hunting here, and the Pantanal is definitely the best place in the world to see jaguars. And the way they move, much more well-muscled than a leopard. Very powerful cats. Largest cat in South America, of course. And the way she just disappeared into the forest there. The jaguar's a true big cat, and you can hear that by that roar. There's only 4 cats in the world that can do that. The lion, the leopard, the tiger, and in South America, the jaguar. Wow, it really makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. A real reverberating sound goes right through you. And it sounds to me like there could be 2 there. May even be a male. You know, I never saw him, but maybe there's some mating going on with the female. Maybe he was waiting in the bushes and she was on heat. The male will follow a receptive female for 2 or 3 days, mate with her at every opportunity. And I think that sound, that's what was going on. There were 2 jaguars mating, which is, again, unbelievable.
Even more unbelievable is the news we've just heard. There's another male jaguar just downriver. He's probably after the same female. This is like winning the lottery twice in one day.
And there it is, just as I predicted, on the sandbank there. Padding along there, this great big broad head. Jaguars have got extremely powerful jaws. Only hyenas have got ones that have got more bite strength. See it flicking that long tail. A lot of biting flies here, sand flies, and it's flicking its tail. It's obviously getting irritated by them like I am. Who said cats don't like water? Look at that. Jaguars are probably the most water-loving of all of the big cats. They're never found far from it. That's why in the dry season like this, they're concentrated along the riverbank. And he is really loving that cooling down in the water. And up he gets, and they are so powerful. They really are heavyweight boxers in comparison to leopards. Very powerful cats. He just looked at me there. This massive head. This has been an astounding animal encounter. I'm never going to forget it. Not one but 3 jaguars, a mating pair, another male interested in the receptive female. Then it even went into the river to bathe. This is incredible. For me, that was an exhilarating and unforgettable first eyeball to eyeball with a jaguar. I'm certain in this reserve there'll be more chances for encounters with these elusive cats.
This trip has been spine-tinglingly thrilling.
This is an incredible sight.
Oh, there's a real feeding frenzy here. I've had some exceedingly memorable wildlife moments.
These are incredible aerobats. And then I've got a firework display in front of my light. Ah, got you!
It will be hard to forget.
This is hopeless. I can't swim against the current. See it? Skedaddle.
Not only did I get a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to swim with a giant otter,
He's curious about me.
I finally met South America's top predator.
My first ever jaguar.
Just when I was beginning to think this encounter might never happen. Next time on Jaguar Adventure, my dream of coming face to face with the big cat finally comes true.
They're man-eaters. He could be in the boat in a couple of seconds if he wanted to. What a privilege this is.
Coming face to face with these awe-inspiring predators must surely make me the luckiest wildlife presenter in the world.
He's playing with it just like a cat would at home.
See you next time,
Iguana!
for more Jaguar Adventures.
Wow! What a catch!